SCDA is a pretty interesting level because it's right after Now There Were Men, and Now There Were Men is considered, like, at least in traditional categories, like, probably the hardest segment. And SCDA isn't, like, that far behind, despite it being quite linear. So there's a lot of stuff we need to go over. A lot of the extras aren't particularly important, so I haven't really shown a couple of them, but yeah, obviously we're starting with old 90%, aka no major glitches. And this is the fastest run that I could find that has, like, some funny shenanigans in it. So, 151 by Kyoku. He was doing a few outdated, like, strats and stuff at this time. Like, even for August 2013 standards, but yeah. Which, by the way, that's nearly 12 years. Nearly 12 years. That's insane. How do I make these go away? I don't think there's a way to make them go away, Jesus Christ. Anyway, oh wait, there you go. They only appear if you, but that's still annoying. But yeah, so already, this run has toilet skip. He's setting it up in a weird way, but yeah, toilet skip. Toilet skip saves, like, 6 seconds, I believe, but you need to have upgraded throw to be able to have it only lose 6, or else it's gonna lose more. Which obviously they have enough of guitar right now, so, you know, but, yeah. Still did toilet skip, they already, you know, they know that they can skip that pressure plate. Again, it's, like, very linear at the beginning, there isn't really, like, too much you can do. So it's not, like, crazy or anything. But here's, circ skip, they already know about circ skip, no ledge grab skip, but that's still pretty cool, I like that, they knew about circ skip. And Kyoku has autosave on. This is on GameCube. He has autosave on, which I find funny. But what's even funnier, right? No SCDA out of bounds. We're going raw. We're going raw. Let's go. But even then, there's still like a couple I didn't even know about these back in the day. Or at least I don't remember remembering them, knowing them back in the day. But yeah, look, you can just like skip this section. It's kind of funky. Didn't even know you could do it, but you can. This is, like, kind of weird, it's finicky. You need to get, like, a ceiling swim, but it's, like, weird. And here's another skip, which I did not know about. It doesn't look worth it, though, because at that point, I feel like you might as well just upgrade throw. I feel like upgrading throw would, like... Well, because he's going to anyway in this level, later, so I just don't... Surely this is not faster. I mean, if you do it really fast, then maybe, but you still get a ledge grab, so it's like, I don't know. But yeah, then he enters Sponge Bowl, which, as you know, at the beginning you can't do anything, so just skipping ahead a bit. And, you know, pretty basic, you know, considering it's 2013, you can't really expect it. But this is actually, this cycle isn't that slow, it's actually, like... Ain't too bad. That was, like, not insanely fast or anything, but, like, that wasn't, like, super slow. I mean, I just said that 5 seconds ago, but I am kind of impressed. So yeah, after Sponge Bowl, after this insanely long load... Oh yeah, this is on a PAL version of the game. I think this is the last time a non-English version of the game got world record. Like, not counting, like, you know, like, ILs, even if, I don't even know if there were any, but, and they knew, we've known this for a long time, but even back in 2013, they knew that all you need to do there was throw 3 melons, not 2. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that epic sauce? But yeah, it's, like, pretty basic and stuff, yeah, throw the thingy. This is, I noticed that he just, like, goes, like, right up to the door. I found that funny. And here's casual 3 meter. Let's go. This is peak. This is absolutely peak. Obviously, you know, there isn't much to say here, but it's just peak. Because it's casual 3 meter. Casual 3 meter is not even that slow, like, in itself. I think it's, like, 1:40 or something like that. It's literally just casual 3 meter but fast. Like, you can cut a couple of these jumps, but, you know, risky. Yeah, and obviously at this point there's like a billion spitters. And you're like pretty much guaranteed to lose ice physics glitch here, but that's not really important. I mean, it is technically, but at this point, it took a long time for us to figure out like how ice physics glitch works. And they even knew about this skip in 2013, and they got a floating block. I don't know if they knew about the cartwheel buffer, but at the very least, Kyoku probably didn't know about it. And yeah, this is going to be a funky floating block. I mean, to be fair, you know, it can't be too mad. The sponge ball was fast, so it's okay for the floating block to not be the fastest thing in the world. No ice physics glitch, but that's expected. Yeah, it's just like not like a standard cycle, but it's like pseudo-standard in the sense that, like, you know, like, an inexperienced player, who, like, doesn't die in the level or anything, you would probably expect them to do it as fast as this. So, considering that, like, this ain't too slow. Like a 1 minute token touch, like that isn't too bad. Alright, and then when you load back in, because you skipped the other section, there's a wall, like, blocking off the tunnel. So, even that, like, so they've known about this too for a while, which is fast in itself anyway, but yeah. Like, you literally have to do it, and they've known about this. Like, this looks, like, you might be seeing this and being like, wow, this looks, like, fairly standard, like, all things considered. But this ending is very strange, to say the least. He's waiting for the Merv, and then literally just, like, he manually kills the Merv, which is incredibly fascinating, and he does it again. This is obviously not fast, but it's cool. And then, this. He tries to... He's going on the trampoline so that they didn't know that you could just throw from here. So yeah, he forgot to, like, upgrade throw. So again, like, he upgrades in SCDA, so it just makes you wonder, like, well, why wasn't he upgrading it? For the TV... Instead of doing the TV skip earlier, but I don't know. Wow, maybe it's because he's not used to having throw by that point, because he only barely had enough by the time he got there. What the hell are they upgrading, then? Like, it must have been SpongeBob's health, actually. That's, like, the only thing that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, this run is very interesting. It even has, I mean, it's the fastest world record that ever did Depression Combat early game as well. So it was just really interesting. But now we get to SCDA 2, because we're talking NMG. We will mostly be talking NMG and Hundo in this, because NMG and No Pause Storage are very similar, but NMG just has, like, more content in the level, so it's, you know... But, you know, just showing Guitar, so at this point, Guitar was in the run, which would make sense. It's not a slow token, really. And, yeah, there isn't really much to show. I just, you know... Like, Kyogo's actually not taking the ring. Like, obviously, he's not, like, cutting the corners on the rings that much, but, you know, it's also ring. You can't lose that much from ring. And he does a first try. And then he just warps away, because he already did Sponge Ball and Floating Block, like, on the way. So yeah, that was SCDA, and now we fast forward to Cole's 1:38:31 on... Apparently, well, you probably did it on, like, the 24th or something, but yeah, Christmas 2014 is when it was uploaded. So over a year later, like, not too far away from a year and a half, he just immediately upgrades throw. And of course, Toilet Skip is in. Does it a little more aggressively than Kyoku, didn't even cartwheel. Like, so, some people do no cartwheel, but people generally prefer cartwheel. It's also slightly faster, because obviously then, you know, you're cartwheeling. But, yeah, at the beginning, obviously, other than more refined movements, is going to look very similar. But then Cole does something interesting here. He prevented the foggers from spawning. So that, so that they would spawn on top of him, so he gets a lot of speed for SCDA out of bounds. So, this is interesting, because even now, like, you don't want to do this, it is like, well, it can make it a bit easier, but you lose a small amount of time by doing this. If you just let the foggers naturally spawn, you get to cartwheel for longer, and then, like, you can make it to the out-of-bounds spot in the same number of swings, you just have less speed, so it can make it harder, but it's also, like, so this is, like, a bit of a strange way of doing it, but... Yeah, so you're basically storing the damage knockback onto the ice block, and then you're swinging around to build up speed, so that you get out of bounds. And then you get back in bounds. However, not all is well that ends well, because we need Sponge Ball. Why do we need Sponge Ball? Because it's fast as hell. So we need Sponge Balls, we gotta backtrack. So you might be thinking, like... Well... also, it's known at this point, actually, that the warp is, like, around here, so... This also skips the, exit load for SCDA Sponge Ball, so that in itself saves time, but you could have just done that anyway. So it's actually kind of funny. SCDA Out of Bounds doesn't actually save that much, because of the backtracking, so it still saves a good amount of time. But, like, it probably only saves, like, 20 seconds, like, it isn't actually that much. However, like, the moves, can really be in the way and be a huge issue. Like, and at the end of the day, it's still worth, like, doing Out of Bounds. Obviously, when I was running the game in 2016 and I was really fucking bad, I was not doing SCDA Out of Bounds, but even for your first runs, you should be doing it. Just, like, severe lack of knowledge and stuff. So yeah, then we have 3 meter skip. 3 meter skip. I forgot about fucking Invisible Crate, dude. I always forget something in one of these videos. I mean, it's never been done at a world record, so... This is the speedrunning world record history, like... The advance, and is it really an advancement if the world record's never done it? It would just turn into a 5-minute rant about why I hate Invisible Crit if I don't know. Anyway, you probably, so the strat here is to keep inching up towards the corner until the hand pointing at the box disappears. You can go a little further than that if you need to, but yeah. And then you just do 2-frame jumps, you know, you have a 2-frame window, blah, blah, blah. Input lag is just, you know, important. Back in the day, they thought that these were 1-frame jumps, but they're not. But yeah, that saves. If you do it perfectly, it saves like a minute. It saves a lot. And now you're actually in a position to sometimes have ice physics glitch going into SCDA floating block. But of course, again, didn't know that back then. And spoilers, Cole's run does not have ice physics glitch. Although it does have the cartwheel boost. It's not really worth going over this. Let's just see what his end time is. Oh yeah, he does it like 5 seconds faster. That's, yeah. So again, just faster movement and stuff all around, as kind of expected. And this ending should be a bit more traditional. Yes, slam in the middle. Although this order is not. But it's, you know, just hitting the buttons from a distance. That's the important... Wow, Cole got robbed. He needed to go a bit further forward, but he still got a bit robbed. And then I'm pretty sure at this point they knew that you just need to go to the first... Oh, no, okay. Wow, Cole has taken a detour. I mean, to be fair, he would, you know... Even the way that Kyoku did it was a little risky, just because, like, the fans could cock block you, but that's a bit surprising. A bit of a de-evolution in that sense. But yeah, that's SCDA 1. And then we have SCDA 2. And, you know, Cole grabbed the SpongeBob warp earlier, so when does he do it? He does it in backtracking. And it's not worth going over this, especially when Kyoku's cycle was pretty good. But you'll notice that there's no guitar. Guitar was out of the route for, like, a while. They went through, like, a lot of different routes. Like, for example, in Kyoku's route, it had the late game sandwich driving 102. So you can imagine, you know, and early game depression combat. So just a lot of, like, weird routing stuff. But the interesting thing is, like, as the route got more, like, optimized, like, obviously, you know, some things almost get, like, lost in translation, I guess, if you want to word it like that to make it sound cooler. Yeah, it's... Let's just say the guitar is fast, and despite that, it's out of the run for a while. I might show InvisiCrit at some point, I'm not sure. But anyway, so the next notable evolution is that, well, guitar is back in. So Cole came back, like, very temporarily in, like, 2016 for, like, a week or two. And, you know, him, Chris, and Redmoss did, like, a race. And I think Chris and Cole were doing the modern route, and Redmoss wasn't. It's hard to remember because the race just doesn't exist anymore, but... based off of, like, one of Redmoss's world records where it, like, still doesn't have, like, some modern routing... At the time, modern routing stuff, that's probably the case. But yeah, so guitar is back in, and Cole actually found that route. So... What it's replacing, so you do, oh yeah, so Depression Combat was out of the run, and then it got brought back in the run in late game, alongside SCDA Guitar, and it replaced Rubber Dub Ring and Macho. It's hard to say how much it saves, especially because, Bridge Jump didn't exist back then, and stuff like that, like... But, you know, it's probably saving, like, a minute or something. Like, it's hard to say. Like, 45 seconds to a minute, maybe. But yeah, at this point, we were all babies, so SCDA Guitar was considered hard. Not by the time Chris got 130-110, but, like, you know, just back then. But then here's something called XD Boost. That is the actual name, and it's really fucking bad. As you'll see. It can only be done in late game. So you saw that Cole got the Spongeball Warp in SCDA 1. The idea here is to just do it in SCDA 2, because, like, that's when you would want to do the token anyway, so it's, like, you know. But yeah, just Chris just failed, it wasn't even close, and then he has to do it again. I've already gone on a couple rants before about, like, why this trick is so bad. But it is essentially, like, the damage boost itself is RNG, and even then, it's a little tricky. Keep in mind, like, these spinners can move wherever they want within, like, this huge fucking circle, and there's two of them. They have the entirety of guitar to just walk wherever they want. Voice crack, wherever they want. So, this positioning is, like, yeah, he should have killed the spinner. But even then, like, the other one was the cause of his demise. And the spinner was actually, like, kind of far back as well. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't. These guys are far back. So even then, even if it worked first try with that luck, it wouldn't have really saved anything. At this point, it saves, like, 3 seconds or some shit. It's like, super not worth it. So not worth it that even when I got world record, I wasn't doing it. There was a very brief period in, like, 2020, I think, where I was doing it, but it didn't take me long to drop it. So yeah, then we fast forward to the 129.07. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah. Now we fast forward to the 129.07. This is unfortunately notable, even though I don't want it to be. Just give it a sec. Spongeball. Warping to Spongeball from 3 meter, I talked about it in a different video, but it was like task route stuff. It literally saves like a scroll or two. So I was just consistently losing like 3 seconds. Because if you miss the 3 meter 2 frame, but then warp anyway, you lose like 3 seconds. I was just losing that time very frequently, as you would imagine, so that I could do Spongeball early. Which was obviously just completely moronic, to save 2 scrolls when I would, like, never save that time. But yeah, I was still doing Spongeball shenanigans in SCDA 1. As a matter of fact, actually, let me check something. Oh, well, here's, yeah, here's what I was talking about, like, the foggers are already spawned, and then you can do it in the same number of swings, so as long as you're good at controlling the speed, it's like, you know. There is a different strat where after grabbing the token, you drown yourself, which loses like 3 seconds, but then like you also get a fast fogger thing, and you don't have to like go back to the swinger, which is like super AIDS. But yeah, I just want to see if I did. Okay, I did Patrick 2 melon. You could do Patrick 1 melon. I don't know if it's in any of the videos. Actually, no, it's got to be in the all extras one, so it's fine. But yeah, that was just like a disgusting route that I did, and then like this. Sponge Bowl hasn't really like changed. Missed the 2 frame, lol. And then here's Floating Block Light. This was implemented at the same time as the 3K one, but this one is like even harder and saves less time. Because it like fucks the cycle. You want to be on a consistent cycle. That's probably another reason why I did the Sponge Bowl thing, actually. It's like, well, I want a consistent cycle here anyway, and like, what do you know, the cycle's mid as fuck, because my movement's bad. But yeah, you can see it's like pretty standard, and obviously at this point, like we knew for a long time you could literally just stand on the trampoline, the first one. So yeah, you skip in the task, and then, I have to show you SCDA 2. So after guitar, I would just do this, and no ice physics glitch again, so let's just see what end time I got. Okay, I got a 110, so I mean, that's not bad, but yeah, I missed the thing, so I just lost a bunch of time. Yeah, a bit embarrassing, is it not? But yeah, oh wait, that was just showing, yeah, these were, wait, what's this? Oh yeah, okay, no, we don't need any of these. Now we fast forward to a more modern SCDA in NMG. Well, the route has changed again since this run, but like this generally also shows you what it's like in no pause storage, so it's gonna be again the same at the beginning. I will say it is possible to get a ledge grab skip here, but you really need to like dedicate yourself to it. It's really bad. Like you need to attempt it in a way where if you miss it, you're probably gonna drown. Like it's not even a thing of like, oh well, I'll like realistically get the ledge grab even if I don't get the like even if I don't get the ledge grab skip, like I won't. But like no, like it isn't really like it is pretty frequent because you're like trying to cut the corners so much that you like fuck it up and drown. Like it's not. I've only ever gotten it like once or twice. It's super not worth it. The other thing is that you can get a 1 frame damage boost off of the goo in the toilet and then jump across. That in itself like saves time. Or if you do the buffer, it saves like a couple frames over the ledge grab. But I don't like relying on buffers for stuff that can otherwise be done like consistently, like easily. Like obviously for like 1 frames and stuff, like yeah, sure, but like the problem is that like what's it called? The problem is that like, well, toilet skip itself is easy, and sometimes the lag can just not generate properly. Like I'm not losing my run to save like 3 frames to skip an easy, like I'm just making the run like harder for me. It is a good option for people who just like are like just getting better at the game, but they're already used to buffers and like they don't want to do toilet skip. Like, you know, it's a decent option. Oh yeah, at this point we just like never have enough for throw and SCDA, so toilet skip effectively saves more now at the higher level. But yeah, as you can see, here's Circulate. It took me 3 times to implement this to finally stick to it. I was really struggling, but as you can see, like, you get the Fogger damage boost again, and then, like, you grab the warp in midair. It's a bit harder than it sounds, like, to grab the warp. You need to go, like, a little inward into the thing. It could be a bit fucky. And we have a faster out of bounds, because we were going around the can, but then we realized you can literally just do this. And, here's a ledge grab skip. There are 2 versions of this ledge grab skip, but this one is, like, way better. It's just like a ceiling swim thing. You're like coasting along and getting a ceiling swim. It's a bit hard to describe. It's kind of feel-based. And then, here's a bit of a faster way of... Yeah, that was just like a fast way of grabbing the crate. And this is just going to be exactly what you expect. I think at this point, yeah, it just became kind of standard to buffer that token. And then here's just a better way of... Well, as you can see here, ledge grab skip got found. Still skipping the task, obviously. And we're getting these, in no pulse storage especially, I fucking need these. In NMG, it's not as crucial, but, like, you fucking need them. You need them in no pulse storage, bro. The situation's fucking dire. But yeah, as you can see, if you make it... It's a bit hard, but if you do it fast enough, you can... I will say, if you just get, like, a good 3 meter in general, but you miss the 2 frame, you can still get a good cycle here. It'll, like, kind of about sync itself to being, like, this sort of cycle. I did that, yeah, that's a bit fucked, but it's still a bit faster than last time, as you saw. But yeah, SCDA 1 is just SCDA 1, and then SCDA 2, I don't know why I timestamped it here. XD boost hasn't been in the run for a while, like no one should ever do it. So instead, here's a different strat. So I fucked it up a bit, but this is a Y plus R jump. So you do select, and then you hold Y and R. Although if you do it incorrectly, it can, like, eat your Y input. It's a bit fucky. Like, you saw there that I kind of, like... That happened, because that happened, my Y input is eaten, so I had to, like... As you saw there, I just stood still for a sec. That was me pressing Y to, like, to get it, like, unstuck. And then I successfully got it. This loses, like, a fucking, like, second over, like, a basically perfect XD boost. And it's easy. You can even do this on any console. Literally any console. You need to use the start menu, which makes it harder. Like, the pause menu, not the upgrade menu, which makes it harder, but, like, you still can do it. I will say, there was a period of time where I was doing this with Patrick, which even then is actually, like, a second faster compared to doing it in early game because you don't need to drown yourself. I say early game, like SCDA 1. However, that is not recommended because of the RNG of the spinners. They were frequently getting in the way. So basically, if you're doing NMG, then what you should do is either grab the warp in SCDA 1 or do the Y plus R jump in SCDA 2. Those are, like, the only, like, viable options, really. But yeah, this is, like, effectively the fastest way of doing it, is this Y plus R jump, even if I fucked it up. Because this saves, like, 2 seconds or something over the Patrick shit, so, like, 2 or 3 seconds. Even though I fucked it up, it's still, like, breaking even, or whatever, but... I guess now I'll show Sponge Bowl again. I don't know if I got a good Sponge Bowl here, but... Oh yeah, I need to show Floating Block, actually. I'll do that in a second, although, again, I don't know if I got a good one. But yeah, you can see, like, I'm doing it pretty fast, just, like, refined movement. Like I've said in a million other videos, like, the difficulty of the run, like, a lot of it was literally just, like, don't die in the floating blocks, don't die, in the Sponge Bowls, you know? I mean, obviously there are other tricks like 3 meter and guest jumps, but yeah, like, that was part of the difficulty. So, where is floating my cock? Where is it? There it is. So, now it's just standard if you have an SCDA 2 to, like, do it, like, you know, SCDA 2, like, in no pulse storage to do it here. And we have Ice Physics Glitch. So, Ice Physics Glitch, it is a glitch that activates from boot, where you have incorrect physics on the ice blocks, which actually makes you faster. The ways that you lose it are either getting hit by spit from spitters or frogfish, or standing on frozen goo or lava. So, I just realized something. I wonder if you can freeze the goo in SCDA. There's no freezy fruit. But it's green, so I wonder if you can do that. I'll need to... Hopefully I remember after this video. Maybe I can ask someone if they know. But, I assume it would just work, but it would just be a big, like, visually glitchy or something. But, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so there's basically there's no reason, because you shouldn't be getting hit by the spitters anyway, so you should just be oh yeah, I just realized I don't even think there's video fucking proof. Like, I don't think we ever uploaded it to TSSM archive, like fucking Invisible Crate. There is like one run that I can, well, there's like one runner I can, or even, well, there's more than that. Yeah, maybe I will pull that up. But yeah, anyway, Ice Physics Glitch, it's hard to say exactly how much it saves, but it's probably like 7-8 seconds, like it's quite a bit. And this is by the looks of it, a very standard cycle. Yeah, very standard indeed. So this is just the kind of time that I would expect at, like, top level, I guess. Yeah, 119. Like, that's really fast. I mean, again, Kyoko's was 1 flat. And then obviously this is just completing Circle 8. Yeah. So now we move on to this gold, just to show you like a really fucking optimal SCDA end. Like, watch this shit now. To this day, I never do it that risky. It, like, you don't know until you've experienced it yourself. Like, the targeting is a bit weird with throw, and it can be so hard to, like, keep in mind, like, how close it would have been to hitting the spawner and the MIV and the hands, like, not cooperating. Like, this was a complete accident. This is standard now. It's standard now, but, like, the strat is to, like, wait a couple extra seconds here. Oh, wait, no, you can't see my cursor. Is to wait a couple extra seconds here. Like, I destroy the spawner, and then I stand here and I wait a couple extra seconds, to get a guaranteed, like, good cycle. So this was a 148 with a missed, I missed one jump in 3 meter, which is funny, because I'm, like, never gonna fucking gold this shit. But now I get, like, pretty consistent, like, well, I say, you know, like, assuming I get good jumps and everything in the 2-frame, like, for the second half of SCDA Area 2, I can pretty easily get, like, 151s and stuff. But yeah. And now, we need to get to... I think you look at the left side gameplay. This is block boost. This has never been done in a world record, but it was done in some, like, bad hundo runs. It's not really relevant anymore, but it deserves mentioning. So look at the left gameplay. This guy made Fruit Ninja? WTF, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Go back. Autoplay shouldn't have been on. I should have turned it off. But anyway, honestly, words really struggled to do it justice on, like, how bad this actually is. This is assuming you're on the standard cycle, like, you have Ice Physics Glitch, like, you're not down to 1 health. So much stuff, but then, like, you need to, like, sync yourself up to the spikes. And look at this, like, look at what you're doing. And then you need to get damage boosted with the right angle, and then obviously we would be doing a buffer. Ain't no fucking way you're doing this with a 1-frame jump, but then get the buffer, and have a good enough angle to make it across, and then react accordingly, which is easier said than done. Because you don't normally approach the token with this kind of angle, so it can be a bit... Like, I've had runs where I've gotten the boost, but not the buffer. But again, words can't really do it justice. This is really, really, really bad. I did do, like, hundreds of attempts of this, and my consistency never really increased. Maybe if I did it, like, a couple thousand times, I would have gotten some more concrete consistency, but I truly don't see a world where this ever would have been more than 50% consistent. But yeah, the cycle's not really even relevant anymore, really. I mean, we might go back to it in a sec, but... Here's a modern, like, fast floating block cycle. A fast cycle here has been known for a while, but we just couldn't replicate it consistently. I don't do it the exact way this guy does it in this demonstration, but, yeah. But the beginning is the same, so you want to take this path instead because it's a bit faster, although a bit more risky. Then here, you don't want to cartwheel on any of those blocks, because then it would just fuck, like, your cycle for the next block. And then you jump to the, and then, like, so you know you got the cycle, like, as a high-level player. You know you got the cycle if you can make the jump before this starts, moving to the left side. That's how you know you got it. I go this way, but Sky's going this way. Which I believe my way to be faster, because you get a better line to the thing. I mean, I can't, like, definitive. I'm pretty sure it's faster, although it makes it a bit harder. And, we've known for a while now as well that, if you slam a trampoline block, or a trampoline in general, you'll, like, always get back the double jump. Although, if you have upgraded slam, you want to do it close to the, or else it'll like fuck it up, basically, so you want to like slam close to the, so you can also like take these more like aggressively as well. Yeah, I'm pretty confident mine is fastest, because Sky got a 121 token touch, and I get like 122s to 123s. But yeah, the reason why this saves like optimally, like very optimally, saves like 3 seconds, more realistically like 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds over the other, like the standard. And the reason why this is notable is because it just kind of fucks block boost. Because now, like, you're not on cycle to do block boost. The only way you are is if you do the right side gameplay. Take a look now. Needless to say, nobody is ever doing that in the history of fucking ever. This demonstration video is like the only time you're ever gonna fucking see this shit. Did you see how close Sky was to not even being on cycle for this? This is clearly never being done fucking ever, right? So block boost, it effectively saves less time now, because you're not, if you ever do it, it's going to be with the standard cycle, not with the fast cycle. So now we need to compare the fast cycle to block boost, in which case block boost goes from saving maybe about 7 seconds to more like, you know, like 4. So yeah. Like, it's not looking good for block boost cells. The only reason block boost had literally any viability in the first place was because the extra and hundo would like slow you down to be on like to be very comfortably like on cycle for is actually, it lines you up like really good. And just for like bad runs, like it was never being done on good runs. Yeah, basically it's not really, it's never gonna be done in runs again, I don't think, unless we could find an even faster cycle, but yeah. And, here is an alternative SCDA ending. I don't like it, though, so I don't do it, but might as well show it. So you go here, slam, and then you just do a regular throw on this button. And then you pick this one up, go to the left side, and then throw, to that button. It doesn't really save anything. I mean, technically, it's saving frames here, but, like, this is compared to my gold, and my gold is obviously, like, absurdly fast because of what I said earlier. So in reality, this is saving more like 2 seconds or something. But then when you, like, jumping when the cans are spinning is risky because you can clip inside the can, so ideally you don't do that. So in reality, in total, this is saving, like, 1 second. Again, I don't like it, though. There is, like, I feel like, I haven't experimented with it a ton, to be fair, but I feel like there's a bit of RNG with it. Like, the spitter can be annoying, but the spinner can also be annoying, and just, like, I don't, you know. And the move is almost in the way, and this is obviously, this is only viable at the top level anyway. This is assuming that you're doing a load cycle from 3 meter. I don't like this cycle. I don't think it's good. I think there's too much risk, because the way that I do it is, like, quite safe, easy. I don't think it's worth it, in my opinion. Do I fucking show Invisi Crate? I guess I will, I'll be right back. Alright, here's Invisible Crate. I need to go over Invisible Crate later anyway, for SCDA, for Toast Early, but for now, as you can see, some fucky stuff happens, and then, yeah. Oh my god, This was not a good demonstration. Oopsies. Well, it just goes to show how much the trick fucking sucks, but, you know. So... I don't even remember who found... Well, Cole found Invisible Cray, but we just didn't, like, know, like, what it was or how to use it. So... The way that Invisible Cray works is that with upgraded throw, you throw a Cray against a wall, and its collision will, like, bounce off. And... it'll be in a glitch state. It's almost like the... I don't know how to explain it, but... like, the throw speed, I guess, or the distance or something gets converted into vertical... Well, yeah, it just gets converted into height momentum. So... we are using, like, the throw, because you need to use upgraded throw as well. And then obviously like the collision itself bounces off, but then it gets converted into like height. So then it has like a bit of a scoop. If you can see my cursor, it'll do like this, like almost like a shooting upwards thing. So you like jump on it, like, and then you cartwheel, like you tap cartwheel, which gives you like a bunch of speed because like here is the point where you get speed, and then you jump when it like begins sloping up. So like jump on it, tap cartwheel, and then very shortly after you like press A and you like get shot up. It does depend on like a bunch of stuff, like you can't use upgraded throw like literally right up against the wall, like you need a little bit of distance. But yeah, then what you would do is that you'd bang your head on the ceiling, so ceiling swimming, you'd be ceiling swimming like all the way to the end. This is a backup for if that happens, but then you have to do, so, I've already complained about it so many times before, but like, if you do this normally, you still have to do like 1 or 2 two-frame jumps at the end, which is why I hate this trick. You also need upgraded throw, which I never have enough for in some categories at this point, but yeah, basically, like, even if you do this successfully, you still need to do like 1 or 2 two-frame jumps at the end. And the reason why that matters is because these jumps are all about like muscle memory and rhythm. And when you're descending from such a height, and like you need to like just immediately get the two-frame first try like from that height, you are way more likely to miss it than any normal traditional even several traditional two-frame jumps in a row. Because doing it from such a height is going to completely fuck with you. Like, it's just terrible. So... yeah, but the way that Crow fucked it up, like... now they need to do a bunch of two-frame jumps up the slide. Which, this trick is supposed to skip in the first place, and what do you know? Like, just have to go all the way down the slide. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you can see what it is. They're not going left enough, though. You want to go more left than this. But yeah, still have to do... And see, like, this happens every single time I see someone do Invisible Crate. This happens literally... I'm not trying to be Leafy right now. Leafy is here. But genuinely, literally, every single time I see somebody do this, they always miss this jump. Every single time. Every single time. And luckily, Crow messed it up in a way where they could just, like, hug the left side, the right side, but imagine if that didn't happen. And again, it's about rhythm. If you fuck up the rhythm, you could just get... you could fuck it up so badly, you just go all the way down the slide again. Like, it's just kind of stupid when the whole point of this trick is to avoid doing the jumps. And then you have to do the jumps, and you're very, very likely to miss the jumps and fuck them up, and then you have to just fucking do them as recovery anyway. It's so stupid. And even at the top level, you can't even do it anyway. If you do this, like, really fast, with this method, really fast, it saves, like, a second, but there's a way to make it save even more time. You would do cartwheel, jump, cartwheel, jump, cartwheel, jump, but that makes it, like, way more risky. But if you do that, then it saves, like, 3 seconds. But even then, I would still say it's absolutely not worth it. I really do not like it. As you can tell, it's fucking terrible. I think it's an okay option for, like, intermediate level players who, you know, like, they just want to get, like, a 109 or some shit, like, as fast as possible. Like, they're not really, like, looking super long term, like they just want like a decent time on the boards. In the short term, and I really do mean the short term, I think Invisible Crate is probably easier. But like, fucking hell, do I hate this trick. I don't even think you should be doing Invisible Crate until at least you're doing BBBH slide jumps, because at least then it's like if you need to, then you know how to like recover the jumps in a pinch. Oh yeah, so something I forgot to mention actually is that the way that the SCDA 2 route changed in NMG, it has changed a decent bit because of like some BBBH backwards stuff. Well, and also unupgraded guitar. Unupgraded guitar's animation. Unupgraded guitar's animation is shorter than upgraded guitar's animation, but we need to upgrade guitar in BBBH for BBBH backwards. Dude, I have hiccups. So it kind of changed things in a way where like it's hard to like. Hold on, I'll be right back. I return once again. So you needed to like, because the traditional way of doing backtracking for a long time in NMG was depression, SCDA, depression, BBBH, SCDA, just going from top to bottom. And then I think I was the first person to do, because I was doing it in terms of like difficulty, so I think I was doing SCDA, BBBH, depression, but like it kind of changes now. There's another strat in BBBH that like just completely fucking removes Patrick's cartwheel for the rest of the run. So you need to structure, like, I think that now the way that you need to do it is like, I think you need to do SCDA, then depression, then BBBH. Yeah, that is what you need to do. Yeah, so that was just like an interesting little thing. Also slightly notable, there was like a little bit of a route change in Hundo at some point where like we don't do SCDA floating block after Dennis, we now do it after Sunday because it saves like 6 scrolls, some shit like that. Trying to think of it, well, now the NMG route again has changed a bit because of BBBH backwards and stuff, so there are like 2 viable routes you can do now with like a non-BBBH backwards route. So you can either do Sponge Bowl mid-game or Sponge Bowl late game, and then depending on which one, like if you do Sponge Bowl late game, then you need to do combat mid-game, which isn't really worth it in my opinion. So even though they roughly break even, like I feel like SCDA early might theoretically lose time, it's hard to say, but yeah, like, so in my modern NMG routes, I'm doing SCDA Sponge Bowl. Like, I grab the warp in SCDA 1, and then I just do it after Dennis. Which means that SCDA 2 is literally just, like, guitar. Which is really funny because of BBBH backwards, it just fucked, like, late games routing. It's, like, funny as hell because it's literally just, like, it was quite, like, it was known as, like, the gauntlet back in the day. Like, the fucking backtracking gauntlet. Because, like, at its best, it was like, SCDA guitar, SCDA Sponge Bowl, and then you had, like, all the fucking BBBH stuff. BBBH backwards, which includes, like, throwing fruit, guitar, disco, Sponge Bowl, like, it was a lot of stuff, a lot of walking as well. And then you had depression combat and depression guitar, and now it's literally, like, I think now, you, like, yeah, no, you do want to still do it in an exact order as well, actually. So you want to do SCDA guitar, then BBBH guitar, then depression guitar, then depression combat, and then that's literally like, that's the backtracking. And even then we have strats to make SCDA, depression combat, like, more consistent, so just kind of funny. But yeah, now we move on to the extra stuff. There's only, like, a couple really, like, worth noting, though. Like, there's like 4 extras in the level. Like, obviously you have Toast, you have the one behind the TV, you have one on top of that stack, and then you have one, in Floating Block. But it's just like, who fucking cares about the latter two, you know what I mean? I'm surprised by how relatively short this video is going to be compared to, like, Now That We're Men. Anyway, so here's, Cole's first hundo run. And as you can see, he's doing Toast casual. So the strat, you're supposed to do it like during, oh, you fucked it up, I think. During the guitar challenge, you're supposed to hit these pieces of toast. So that's the first, well, he already did the first one from a distance. I actually don't know. Here's the thing, right? I don't know if the devs intended you to be able, I feel like they intended for you to hit that toast during the challenge. Which, if that is what they expected you to do, then that's actually fucking insane. Because you would have had to have almost completed the fucking challenge. And then, like, but I've never seen anybody do it like that, especially not in runs, so I literally, like, I don't know if that's what they intended or not. It's genuinely hard to say. But yeah, here's the other piece of toast. And then, the extra spawns. And then you just do the challenge like normal. Nothing else is really, like, notable. All the other extras are grabbed in this run in the way that you would expect. But now here's, at the time, this was known as early toasters, I believe. So, what you need to do, so for the first, so you hit this toast with throw. And then, like, this is the same. So, the toast is not persistent when hit. It does not remain hit. So, if you die or load, like, the toast is popped back up. The extra will still be there if you spawn the extra, but for some reason, but not the toast. So you need to do this in one go. If you fuck this up, then run's basically Jova. So here's Invisible Crate again. The fucky version of it, but yeah, you jump onto this toast and cartwheel it. That allows you to get the Cirque token, like, for free. So anything about Cirque Late does not apply in extras categories because it is, like, just faster to do it now. But obviously, again, like, you could die at any point during this. Especially this part, like, you need to be really careful. But here's, this is a bit different from regular toast early, which is why it's so fascinating. Look at this. Isn't this cool? Oh god, did he fuck it up? Oh wait, he recovered it. Yeah, that would have been, the run literally would have been over. Well, not really because he's minus 3 minutes, but, you know, if this existed now, the run would have been wholly over. Dude, he's fucking this up. Well, I guess this is a good demonstration on why the strat actually sucks, but I actually never did this strat. But yeah, you just do a whole bunch of this. Isn't this peak? It's stupid as fuck, but yeah, all that. It's so stupid. So this didn't even save, like, that much time, but obviously it saved enough to where it was really hard to justify not doing it. So the other thing I want to note now is, if you're doing the extra casually, like, it's possible for the extra to, like, not spawn. That happens if on the final piece of toast, you skip the guitar cutscene, like, early. Like, you know, like that little guitar, aftermath cutscene, where it just pans to that, like, it just has, like, a little cutscene after you detonate guitar for, like, a couple seconds. Like, if you skip that, then it'll prevent the thingy from spawning. So, yeah, the more you know. I only learned that very, very recently. Like, literally a couple days ago or something. But yeah, now here's a strat that I feel like I feel like I told Tedious this was fast in runs, but it's hard to remember. Nah, surely not. No, I think this was just known. I don't know, but... Well, I'm showing this now just to show, Wait, hold on. Did I fuck this up? Did I fuck up the thingy? Okay, no, I... Oh, wait, no. This wasn't the same... Yeah, okay, never mind. I was being stupid. But yeah, he's not grabbing the extra now. Was the point. That was... Yeah. So, here is SCDA 2 from the same run. Watch this. This is sick. I haven't seen that in ages. That's really cool. So, this is using guitar storage, which normally only gets used in BBBH. And the idea is that you can grab this extra, like, obviously the initial grab is way slower than doing it the other way. So, like, you save some time in SCDA 1, and then in SCDA 2, you're losing a lot of time, but then you make it back with this. Because then you just skip this whole part. This is not fucking fast. And I think the main reason why is because, like, you need to, like, sit through this timer and everything. But yeah, the other thing as well is that this is a little risky. It is consistent, but it's a bit fucky. Like, when you press A after, like, I think if Tedious did that a tiny bit sooner, he would have drowned. Like, it's a bit fucked. I think there was also a very brief period of time where I timed it to be faster to do this with Patrick. I don't even know if it is actually faster to do it with Patrick, but either way, like, this is not fast and shouldn't be done. So yeah. And now here is Modern Toast Early. Oh, well, this is a more, I think I did a more standard, like, yeah, this looks a little more normal, but more importantly, now, so this is a bit of a weird situation where I found this, but Tedious also found it. Tedious found it, but just didn't, like, report on it because all extras didn't exist at the time. It was only Hundo, and Tedious was the only person playing Hundo, so he just didn't post about it in the server. So I found it, I posted it, and then Tedious was like, oh yeah, I already found this recently. So, fuck me, I guess. But yeah, you can literally just do this. And that skips that entire, so it's way easier and way faster. And then you do this because you just grab the extra in SCDA 2. In all extras you can't do that, but yeah. And now we go on to a modern Hundo, a modern SCDA, just to show you, like, again, optimally, just like what it looks like. Again, like standard, but just like the movement and stuff is like faster and everything. And then, well, yeah, well, you can see here, like, because I think in the 226 I didn't do this, but like I don't even kill the spitter. I don't even bother killing him. And again, just like, yeah. It's just like standard stuff. But here's the interesting part. Oh yeah, in no pause storage, you still want to, like, you need to grab this warp in SCDA 1. And obviously you need Spongeball for Mindy Skip. But yeah, and you still need this in SCDA 1. There's also a faster Spongeball warp grab, like, than before, but, you know. Oh wait, didn't I already show? Oh no, I already showed like a good SCDA from my thingy. I don't really need to. Oh yeah, it was just this. This was known for a while, but was not consistent. This saves like 5 seconds, is really cool. It is actually like fully consistent. It didn't take me that long to actually get a feel for it, but it's about the slamming strat again, because you would usually not get your double jump here, but because of the slam strat you do. So, like, I angle myself like about here, and then, again, it's quite feel-based, but you get a feel for it eventually, you get the hang of it. and then you just do this. And again, it can be a bit fucky, but like that was pretty fast. Awesome strat, literally only for hundo. It is only for hundo, not even all extras, it's only for hundo. Because you go straight from behind the TV to, like, the door. Because that skips the whole thing of, like, having to go to the melon. Which, by the way, the spinner, like, usually hits you there, too, which is, like, annoying. And then picking up the melon, like, throwing at the TV, watching the cutscene, like... Actually, I don't think it saves 5, it's probably saving, like, 4. But... yeah, not really, worth showing anything else. I mean, there is, like... This extra was preventing good cycles sometimes, but then we we didn't even know for a while that you could literally just single jump to grab it, so now you can get good cycles. I guess here I can show, like, what I was on about earlier. Like, I destroy the spawner, and then I just wait. That was a bit slow, but, like, you know. And then SCDA, floating block, I mean, again, it's literally just the extra. My hard drive is making hard drive noises. Anyway. Yeah, and this would put you on a good cycle for block boost, but that's not the case anymore. Yeah. Dude, my dog is barking, Jesus Christ. I don't want to go AFK again. Oh wait, why am I showing this? And then for SCDA 2, again, it's just like what you would expect. You just, other than like having to grab the extra at the beginning. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of that. And now I gotta show something exclusive to all extras. Because we need the SCDA, well, the SpongeBob warp, the fastest way of doing this is by jumping to it from the trampoline because you get so much distance. This isn't worth it. In hundo. It's hard to remember. Oh yeah, because we need, in hundo you don't need the warp, but this is only important because like we need the warp now. And as you can see, use Patrick 1 melon, just saves like a couple seconds. And that's the fast thing I was talking about. Just, yeah, just standard stuff for all extras. It's actually kind of aids because of RNG stuff. And here's, EPAE jump, because we don't know what else to call this, because it's early powers all extras, is exclusive to this category. So after the second toast, you stand here, spin, cartwheel, double. This is actually harder than it looks. And then you just skip the task. I think it might potentially save time. I think I actually timed it to save time to, like... did I? Yeah, because wasn't there a category it's hard to remember. You can grab the warp and then do, like... Well, that's if you need Cirque. But even then, I don't think that's actually, like, worthwhile. But yeah, that was the only notable thing here. There were 3 more things, well, 2 more things to show. There would be another one, but I don't have video proof of it, and it was never done in runs. But there was, like, a bunch of, like, guitar storage shenanigans you could do, where you just do loads of SCDA backwards, to substitute toast early, and it was really hard. You literally needed, like, 5 health for it, at least, because it was just so fucked. And it only saved, like, 5 seconds or something of a casual toast. So obviously it was just not worth it, and it was never done in runs, but yeah. But now here's an IL exclusive strat. So peak. Yeah, so this is just for SCDA 100%. So you want to look at the right side gameplay. So normally, actually, I will say, like, normally you need to do SCDA forwards because of the extra for toast. But here, you would just warp to guitar, do guitar, which does mean that you have to waste a load, but then you do this. Isn't that sick? When I was running out of ideas, like, a few months ago, I think I did, like, some old SpongeBob tokens category or something, and I did this strat. It's really cool. Although, obviously, it has a bit of RNG and skill to it. It's kind of annoying. But then this allows you to just, like, continue doing it backwards. As you can see. And you just go on a bit of a journey. You would do this part as well with, like, the guitar strats. Although I didn't know you could do it from here. Maybe the strat saves more than 5, actually, but either way is not relevant anyway. And then when that appears, you would warp here, so that's why it doesn't save as much as it otherwise could. Well, it's adding a load. Like, the time save is basically just negating the load. Cool strat, but little fucky, which sucks when, like, in an IL, you'd probably want to do, like, other really fast strats, so it's a thing of, like, well, do I do this first, or... Well, it does make it cooler in the sense that now you can start the Hundo IL doing anything you want. Dude, my fucking dog, oh my god, but I'm almost done with the video. But yeah. I'll be right back. I'm back again to only show you, like, one more thing. So this is SCDA Fast Corkscrew. This will never be done in runs. Like, I can, like, pretty much positively say that. It's almost never been done RTA. It's only been a few times done RTA. I don't even know if they've done, like, a complete, like, thing of it. This is a task. But I mean, like, when it has been done, there's never been video proof of doing an RTA, even though it has been done RTA, and I don't even know if they, like, finished out the level. So, I don't even think this has ever been done in ILs. Like, this is literally, like, the kind of trick that you'd get one every, like, fucking 200 tries. And that's, like... I'm out of breath. You can, like, look at this. I think they have, like... I don't know why I said they. I think this is probably some, like, pixel perfect shit. Where, like, SpongeBob, instead of getting knocked back, gets, like, knocked, like, upwards. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just show the rest of this. But, you know, it's a task, so... Yeah. I guess it wasn't too much to go over. I don't think I forgot anything. Like, SCDA is weird. Well, it's just, again, it's just very linear and stuff. It isn't, like, incredibly exciting. I wanted to do Plank, but I want to save that one for last, because that just makes sense. So the only ones left to do are literally just BBBH and Plank. BBBH is going to be a pain to do. I might have to, like... maybe I'll just do one part, like, entirely dedicated. Not parts as in videos, but I mean, like, in, like, one section just dedicated just to talking about BBBH forwards and the other just backwards. I might do that. But then it'd be a bit fucky, because, like, then you'll see, like, different... Like, normally, when you see these, like, the gameplay just gets more and more optimized, it gets better. But if I did that, then the gameplay would be getting better, and then we'd be going back to worse looking and... Well, yeah, just worse gameplay in general and worse looking gameplays would just be a bit fucked. But, yeah. Anyway, well, I might have a different video idea for next week, but it's hard to say. Because I don't even know if it's, like, possible to do, so I'll have to figure that out. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.